Okay. Welcome to day 46 of This Is Not Advice. We are going to answer questions about work, and it's not advice because I've found that when people give you advice, it's usually about how to live their life, not how you live your life. So we're just going to give our answers. I'm Roy, and I'm here with Min, and we are both coming back from being away, and so we're talking about taking time off.
Totally. And so today's question is, what are ways to take time off during a pandemic? And so what was helpful for you, Roy?
Yeah, so I'll start with taking time off generally and then zoom into the pandemic, and then let's riff a little bit. In general, first of all, taking time off is a privilege. We said this yesterday, but the fact that not that many Americans have the ability to take time off for pay. And so if what you need to do is save up so that you can take time off, I think it's an important goal to keep yourself working. Certainly at times when I didn't have paid time off, that was important to me. But the first thing is to express intent and just tell the people around you, like, I intend to take time off, versus sometimes it just comes in from out of the blue and you're overwhelmed. So the further in advance you can telegraph it, especially now during a pandemic, the better off you are. The second thing is making sure you know who else it will affect around you on your team, and being in a dialogue with them, like, hey, oftentimes this comes out as people asking for permission. And I think permission is the wrong way to think about it, because your company gives you time off, you are entitled to take it. You shouldn't really need anybody's consent. But I do think if it affects them, you want to be in conversation with them. So saying like, hey, would it create any issues if I went away on this such and such date? And then you're like really preparing to go. And then you drop the, portcullis of like, I'm away, more important to turn off than ever. And then Min, I think some of the things you were thinking about, it's like, okay, what do you actually do now that like I talked about how do you get away from work, and you were thinking about what you go toward.
Yeah, and both of them are all kind of about like resetting for success. I think that's like the theme of yesterday and today for sure. And in terms of like, what does it actually mean to like take time off? Because our idea of like summer vacation might be very different for those of us who can take time off. And so what I found really helpful is just reframing how to think about what you want to spend your non-work time doing. And so that could be, you want to take a week off because you want to unplug. And while you do that, maybe you want to dig deeper into a hobby where, I don't know, like people seem to be picking up baking, sourdough or things like that. And giving yourself the permission to say, I don't have to be on my laptop, on my phone all day, every day, because today a lot of our work and social life is happening on screen, and that can be a lot too.
Yeah, I think there's this piece. I mean, I talked a little bit yesterday about setting out of office expectations about how you can communicate. There's also a piece about taking time off here where if your daily context now is sitting in front of a screen and going like this, typing, vacation used to mean an automatic change in context because you stopped coming into the office. The context no longer changes automatically. So you need to intentionally change it. And if that means I'm not going to open my laptop the entire time, or what I often do is I change the home screen on my phone, because it's really different to be like not looking at your email app all the time.
Right.
And those changes in context, whether they're physical environment or digital environment, can, I think, really make a big difference.
Totally. And so if you have other questions about how you can reset for success, I think we'll be back tomorrow. Roy and I work at Bloomer Beta. We look at work and the future of it. And so we're talking about work questions. So please share more, and we'll be back.
Go outdoors, everybody. The outdoors are inexpensive and safer and wonderful. So, easy for two former New Yorker Californians to say, but go outdoors.
Totally. It is summer. So tomorrow. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Min. It's good to have you back.
You too.